Paging all Married to Medicine fans, it's your girl Natalie.
And your girl Shimeika, and we're here sipping tea and talking all things MD and MRSMD on our rewatch podcast, Married to Medicine, The Rundown.
Join us on Monday nights as we break down our favorite past episodes, review the upcoming season, and spill the tea on your favorite group of ladies and their husbands.
Let's get to spilling. Hey y'all, this is Shimeika.
And it's your girl Natalie.
And we are back for another episode of Married to Medicine, The Rundown. And as usual, we are always going to start off with one of our favorite quotes from the episodes that we've watched. And my favorite quote of the day comes from Miss Quad. And the quote says, "Lesson of the day, girls, is always to look your best. And when you look your best, you feel your best. And when you feel your best, you can always give your very best." And if you can guess who she says this to, I will hand y'all a cookie.
Not a cookie. I will take a nice chocolate chip cookie, thanks.
No problem, girl.
Now, you see, I think this quote was the best of the entire season, okay? And it comes from the one and only Miss Dr. Simone in her confessionals. And I quote, "Y'all, we got two bitches fighting in ball gowns."
Simone is definitely quotable.
Look here, Simone can have a whole season based on her confessionals alone.
No, she most definitely can, because she's hilarious in her confessionals, and I love her laugh. I don't care.
Oh yeah, her laugh is iconic. Iconic. Yeah. It's like the nanny.
Yeah. Yes, it is. You gotta laugh when Simone laughs.
You do.
Yeah. But anyways, y'all, let's jump right into it. And because we are recording this hot off the news of the little cast shakeup that they're having at Married to Medicine, we are going to start this episode off with the news that Anila and Contessa are leaving and Miss Phaedra Parks is joining.
Now, this is all allegedly. Hold up. Allegedly, girl, you better put that Wendy Williams spin on it.
Allegedly. So allegedly, these ladies are leaving, but Dr. Contessa did give a quote to Love B. Scott where she said that she was leaving because it didn't really portray her in the mom and doctor spotlight that I guess she wanted to have. And she said, you know, it's been 5 years and she's tired of the cussing and the crying. So allegedly, Dr. Contessa quit.
Okay, here's my thing. One, allegedly she quit. Allegedly Anila got fired. And allegedly Phaedra's coming on. One, I'll actually miss Dr. Contessa. But based on that quote, I'm sorry, but everyone has the ability to some extent to control their narrative. We can see Dr. Jackie very well portray herself as a doctor, honey, and
that's what Dr. Jackie does.
Okay, but you also have Dr. Simone who can show both. You have Heavenly and Messy Ass who can still show both. So, Dr. Contessa, were you trying to properly control your narrative?
I will say that I feel like she did portray both in a good light, because we got to see not only her being a doctor, but her and Dr. Scott opening up their own little business that they were doing on the side. And we also got to see her being a mom to her beautiful children. And let's not forget that she did that whole bodybuilding thing on the show, which I think is good. So I feel like she did get to portray herself in, I don't know, a good light.
And that's what I'm saying. So is it that she didn't like what she put out there and she's trying to be like Portia and retract what went out? Or did she feel like in her mind it was more so the drama and we never saw the positivity? Because we definitely saw it.
Yeah, I want to say if Contessa ever listens, girl, we saw the positivity and we loved it. Obviously, a show like this is not always going to be positive. It's not always going to be sunshine and rainbows. as we witnessed in the first 2 episodes in the first season, dear child. So, it's like, I guess in some cases you got to take the good with the bad, and she was just tired of taking the bad.
Well, can they take the bad and take Portia back with her? Because I don't want to see her on my screen.
You mean Phaedra?
Oh, sorry, Phaedra. Difference. They both start with a P, and I don't want to see either one of them. Maybe Portia a little bit more than Phaedra. Now, how I see it, child. First of all, I'm a new watcher of Housewives of Atlanta, so I'm still mad at Phaedra. So,
Yeah. I used to love me some Southern Belle, Phaedra Parks. I used to love me some of her, but things happened, and times, I guess, change. Time changes every day.
girl.
So I don't even know what to say about Miss Phaedra joining the cast right now. I'm just gonna leave the judgment for when the season starts. How about that?
Fine. And as long as we don't get back Anila, I'm good with that one. That was a good firing. I ain't mad at
Yeah,
that.
Neela didn't really, I don't know. I just didn't feel like she clicked in with the group as well as she wanted to. I will miss her mom, though, as mean as her mom was. I
We
will
keep
miss
the
her mom.
mama. Her mama was lit. She
Yeah,
gave no shits. I would keep the mama.
right. I'll definitely keep Neela's mom. So, but this is what it is for us, y'all, in the new season. We get to see some of the same ladies, but there's going to be a little bit of shakeups, some people leaving us willingly and unwillingly, and people joining us who we may or may not want to see. So we're just going to have to wait for season 10 to drop, which reminds me, they did start filming, because I did see Dr. Heavenly tweet a couple weeks ago that they will be filming in 2 weeks. So they should have started filming hopefully this week or something, which
Yes.
I'm excited about.
Woo woo.
I'm excited. So let's get ready. And now let's jump into episodes 4 and 5
Yeah, of season 1.
of season 1. And we are hot off the heels of the Doctors on the Dock party. So we got Mariah had a sit down with Carrie and Quad, and they hashed their issues out to where Quad is now able to come to the party.
She's been reinvited, honey.
Yeah, she has. So she's coming to the party. She's ready to party. So, that looks good for us. But to start off this episode, we start off with Mariah actually visiting Toya to give Avery a little gift for his birthday. And she brought him a little christening outfit, which I thought is very nice and sweet. But Toya was not feeling it, like, at all. Um, Mariah did, I think it was Mariah who said in her confessionals that her relationship with Toya is a little bit finicky, but they make it work. So I guess this is their little finicky way of making it work.
For the sake of their husbands.
Yeah, because they run in the same circles. So
Mm.
and then after that we get into like Dr. Jackie, who talks about loving her job, and this is our first time seeing Dr. Jackie work out, where she kind of gives us a little glimpse of her little fit knee.
First of all, I want to see Dr. Jackie's trainer in season 10. He is fine.
Yes, I wonder when we get to see him again. But hopefully she brings back her little fit knee workouts.
Right?
Because she did stop it after a while. So I don't know.
Dr. Jackie, if you're listening, we love you. Bring it back.
Right?
Unblock us and bring it back.
What? Yeah, allegedly, because we don't know
Allegedly. We don't know.
But let's talk about how Toya takes Simone to the cigar shop, and Simone's like, "What are we doing?" And Toya's like, this is just a little fun thing that me and Eugene decided that we should do sometimes, like just as a couple, just something fun to do together. And their fun thing to do is go to the cigar shop and smoke cigars.
But look here, it's the fact that Toy said with her chest after a long day of work.
Yo, and Simone's like, what work?
Bish, where?
Simone's like, what are you talking about? Yo, and then Toya like had to break it down for her, like working with these kids all day. Like, mama's tired. Like,
Puff puff pass and call it a day.
yo, I cannot. But in the cigar shop is when Toya's talking to Simone about Quad, and she's like, she thinks it's tacky for Quad to bring up Carrie's personal life, which I don't know if you guys remember, but in the last episode we did talk about where Quad was asking certain questions of Carrie that I guess maybe she should not have been asking. So yeah, and it was in this moment where Simone was like, maybe Mariah's instigating, or like, and that's when Toya calls Quad Mariah's puppet, and she's like doing the little hand gestures saying that Mariah's a puppeteer,
Yeah.
which I don't think so. I think Toya's just her own, Quad is just her own person, and she's gonna do what she wants to do, and that's
Okay,
just what
you
it
believe
is.
that.
So I don't know.
You believe that. Whatever helps you
She
sleep.
is her own person. That's what I believe. So we're just gonna leave it at that. But then after that, we get into Quad pretty much talking about how she's not ready for kids with Dr. Greg, and how she wants to, be her best for when she does have kids. And
You
I
know
think,
what? I have to agree with Quad on that. And this is the thing where we see a lot of people either jump into having kids to please their man or, feel like they're forced into it. I respect Quad as much as people say, oh, she needs to give this man a kid. Da, 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 da. Stand your ground. If you are not ready for a kid, do not have one.
yeah, I don't think she should have one if she's not ready. And one thing I didn't like was the ladies pushing her to have a child with Dr. Greg. Like, why are you guys forcing this lady to have a kid? She
Like
doesn't
her
want
body,
one.
her
She doesn't
choice.
want one right now.
Are you gonna help raise that child if something goes wrong?
Right? Like, I
Boom.
don't I don't get it.
Bloop.
I don't get it. So, I think everybody needs to, back off of Quad's uterus a little bit there. Let her do what she wants with it.
100%.
Yeah, no, they definitely need to back off. But next is when we see so we're gonna jump into the beef a little bit here. And this is when we see Mariah and her sister Lake having a conversation. So Mariah's like, getting her hair done, getting ready for the birthday party. A little bit before this though, I think Carrie is upset with Mariah because Mariah was supposed to be there, like helping Carrie all day with the party, but Mariah wasn't there, whatever. So now we're at a scene where Mariah is with her sister Lake, and Lake is saying that she doesn't want to go to the birthday party because she doesn't want to be around Mariah's friends. And then this is when she tells Mariah that she was at the salon and heard that Toya was talking about Aiden not being Lauren's dad. And she was upset with that because Lauren doesn't know that Aiden is not her dad. So they didn't want it to like come out like that. And she was upset because Mariah's sister was asking her, like, how could you tell somebody like Toya information like that? Like, why would you do that? So this is where like the whole beef starts between Mariah and Toya, because remember the relationship's already a little finicky, and this just done pushed it over to the edge.
Look here, all the way left field.
Yeah, because why is Toya going around talking about Mariah's personal life? Like, that has nothing to do with you. And I don't feel that that should have been something that Toya should be bringing up in a conversation, because it's like, how does that even come up in a conversation?
I agree with that, especially if Mariah is not there to defend herself. Aiden's not there to defend herself. Not even Mariah's mother or sister are there to defend or explain the situation.
Yeah. And like that's not fair, especially since Mariah's daughter doesn't know. So for Toya to be going around telling different people, like, Mariah told you that in confidence. She meant for you to keep that as a secret.
Mm-hmm.
And we seen in, I think it was the first episode. No, it was the Doctors on the Dock party where Eugene and Toya are sitting down talking about the same thing, Aiden not being Lauren's dad,
Yeah.
which is that should be something that Mariah and Aiden bring up, not something that Toya and Eugene bring up. Like,
Of course, that I 100% agree with. I even forgot that they brought it up before on camera, before even Mariah and Aiden did. That's crazy.
Yeah. So if it wasn't for them, we honestly wouldn't know. And you know what? We get it. Aiden's Indian and Mariah's daughter Lauren is black. But we never know. Genetics work out in funny ways.
Absolutely. Look how many little Blasian, black and Indian babies out there and women
Yeah.
times.
So like, we never know. And Lauren could very well be walking around like that's my daddy because I don't think Lauren knew um any other man except for Aiden because Aiden adopted her. So
Exactly. She have no one else to compare him to.
yeah, and that's her dad. So I can understand why Mariah, her mom, her mom, and her sister would be pissed about that. I can get that.
Yeah. Mama Lucy a little bit on the crazy side, but that's just
Yeah,
me.
I mean she is, but that's her family and she gonna stick beside them.
I'ma stick beside it. That's my man. That's my mama, and I'ma stick beside him, honey.
That's her mama. So, it's just unfortunate the way how that whole thing went down. But before we get into like the actual fight, let's talk about the beef that is slowly brewing between Mariah and Carrie because because Mariah was not there to help out all day with the party, and then Mariah shows up late, and apparently she shows up in a limo, which is apparently not allowed.
Okay, first of all, here's where me and you're gonna fight. If we are co-hosting a party together, where are you to help me set up?
Okay, so this
All
I'm not
day?
gonna like stick up for Mariah for this one
Okay.
because if me and you are co-hosting a party together and if you're late, I'm gonna be hella annoyed and hella cheesed.
Like from 12
Because,
o'clock, she's ringing
yeah,
down Mariah's phone, and you show up, not even
yeah,
just to the party, you show up even to the party 2 hours late. Mm,
yeah,
that's trifling.
yeah. Like Simone was there walking around entertaining her guests. She was
Yes.
like, "Yes, I'm the entertainer." Like Simone, she kills me. But yeah, no. So I'm gonna have to like, not sorry, Mariah, not side with Mariah on this one. She should have been there helping Carrie out with the party. And then, maybe her and Carrie wouldn't be having the issues that they were having at this time because
Hmm.
there.
Giving very much ungrateful.
Yeah. And then Mariah walks in and she's just like, her fabulous Mariah self. Hey, honey, like, how's it going? What's going on? And
No
Simone's like,
apology, no
this girl
acknowledgement.
walks in. Yeah. Simone's like, this girl walks in and she is not even apologetic. Like, she's just here
Trifling.
to start the party, which is funny because Miss Lucy, Mariah's mom, goes, are we at the funeral? Because this party is dead. Like, I died. Okay. I'm like, what the heck? So, whatever. After this now, so we're at the party. Everybody, I guess, is first of all, Quad's there. So, big up. But we're at the party. Everybody is, having a time. And I think it's Mariah's mom that approaches Toya. Or I don't know how it
Yeah, yeah.
is, but
She
Toya
approached
and
Toya and Simone.
Simone are standing together and they're talking, and then Miss Lucy approaches them, and I guess Toya must have complimented Carrie's house or something like that. And
This
then
part was so
Lucy,
stupid to me.
yeah, this part is very dumb. But Miss Lucy's like, "Oh, you didn't compliment Mariah's house when you were there." And it just turned into like this whole thing. And Simone's like, "Whoa, like, what is going on right now?" Like, Simone's like, "If I was Toya, I wouldn't really say much. I would just back up." Like, and then Toya's like, I don't want to disrespect this lady's mom and whatever, whatever. So, whatever. Toya then decides that she wants to approach Mariah about her mom, not knowing. Okay, so this is where I also have an issue with Mariah, because Mariah and her mom, like, yes, I get it that they're upset with Toya,
Mm-hmm.
but they approach Toya not making Toya aware of why they were upset with her. So they approached her on 100, and Toya's just like,
The hell is
what's
going
going
on?
on? Like, like what's going on? What did I do? Toya has no idea what's going on. And
Mm-hmm.
then she now approaches Mariah to talk to Mariah about her mom. And at this point, Mariah's already on 100 because she's already pissed at Toya.
Exactly.
So for Toya to approach her about her mom, Mariah's like, no, don't approach me about my mother. And then they get into like their own little tiff and whatnot. And Mariah starts like touching Toya's hair. And then I think that's when Toya broke the glass. And then that's when the fight happens.
And
And
this is why I said Mariah and her mother were the instigator for this fight.
you know what, they were, but their reasons were valid. I'm sorry. Like, I just don't go around telling people that my daughter's adopted when my daughter don't even know that she's adopted.
Now that I agree with, but
But
time and place.
yeah, and they should have let Toya know, even though I get that they probably would not have wanted to let her know at the party. They
Mm-hmm.
they probably should have just not spoken to Toya at all during the
Thank
party.
That's why, and I'm gonna fast forward to episode 5 real quick. When Jackie told Toya, like, why would you approach Mariah about her mother
Yes.
at the party? But it goes
Yeah.
vice versa. Why would you even approach Toya in any manner, knowing that you're pissed with her and you're
Yeah.
probably a little tipsy?
Yeah, yeah, very much so.
Like, if you just stay opposite sides of the pool,
Mm,
whatever the case may be. So you
yeah,
kind of brought this fight onto yourself.
yeah, she did. But I'm still gonna write Mariah because Toya should have kept your mouth shut. I don't know what to tell you, but hey, sorry, girl. But like it's really a give and take in this situation. Like,
This is one of those situations where everyone is actually a loser. There's actually no winner.
yeah, everybody's wrong.
Everyone.
Everybody's wrong. There's no right in this situation. Toya should not have been talking about it, and Mariah should have definitely approached Toya in a different manner about the situation.
Yep.
And that's just what it is. It's one of the most, I think this is one of the only fights to go down on the show in all of the 9 years.
Until it's
So,
Toya and Audra, but yeah.
ooh, okay, when we get there, we get there.
That
But
would be
yeah,
a conflict. Damn. Okay,
right?
wait. I need to ask you, who do you think, if no one had stopped the fight, who do you think the winner of the fight was going to be? Because I'm thinking Toya. My girl was throwing hands
She
like
was throwing hands. I'm not even gonna front, but I just know that if Mariah got Toya close to that pool, it would have been over.
Mm,
I know Mariah would have probably dashed her in that pool.
but not with the way Toya was gripping and punching. Like Toya was on 10
She
with
was
that
on
fight.
10, but Mariah was also on 10.
But Mariah looked like she needed help.
And that's why her best friend Quad was there. And you didn't see Miss Lucy hitting Toya in the head with her bag. What?
First of all, Quagga, oh my God, oh my God, oh no, no, I'm out. Like, Are you Ilya? What's her name? Iyanla? Oh my god, not on my watch.
I cannot. But you know what? I have to give it up for Quad because she was actually trying to break up the fight. She did not want to see them fighting. She was actually trying to break it up. It was Miss Lucy who was there with her handbag and hidden toy in her head. It's not supposed to be this funny, but it is.
It's funny when you really watch back because, like, you are a grown woman. This is your daughter's fight. And before
But you
they
know, I'm just gonna
play,
say that as a mom, if my son was to get into a fight, I'm about it.
okay, but you're
Like,
gonna
I'm
fight the
sorry.
child?
Yeah, yeah, because why touching my child? And it all depends on the circumstances. I'm in that.
So I'll be Simone on the sides, be like, what the hell?
Yeah, girl, because I will be rumbling and tumbling with my child. Okay, this is why sometimes my son don't like to tell me people are bugging him because he knows I'ma show up. Meet me outside. Like,
You know his
but
mama
understand, Miss
crazy.
Yeah, understand. I understand. And I'm pretty sure if Toya's, well, I don't know, but if Toya's mom was there, she'd probably jump in too. It'll be a full on mother daughter brawl.
And at that point, that's a fair fight. The mothers fight each other and the daughters fight each other.
Yeah.
Like,
It's too much.
you have like Heavenly in the background. Oh my God.
Yes, our first sighting of Dr. Heavenly, though, and she looked good. Give it up for Dr. Heavenly and Dr. Damon in this episode at the party. I love seeing them. And if I didn't know from before, if I didn't know Dr. Heavenly was gonna like be on the show, I'd be like, okay, like So I
Right?
think that's pretty cool that we got to see a little glimpse of Dr. Heavenly in these episodes.
Hmm.
So that was nice. But let's talk about after the whole fight now. And what upset me, okay, whatever. Carrie and Duncan are upset. People are fighting in their house. It's an issue. Was it Carrie who called the police? I don't remember. Had Mariah and Aiden kicked out of the party.
So two things there. One, I want to know who was that Beverly Johnson looking friend that Carrie had who tried to act all prim and proper.
Girl.
It wasn't necessarily the police, it was security that she had at the house. And she asked him to escort them out.
Okay, so there's that. But what upset me was her saying that she wanted to get a restraining order on Mariah. And then Duncan was like, just think of how much her life is ruined now. Aiden is going to divorce her tomorrow. I guarantee it.
Now that was a little far. Like I get
Like,
it, the fight was a little ratchet, but to think that he would really just divorce his wife like that, that's telling me more about you than it is about Aiden.
yeah, that really upset me. And then at the same time, too, it's like, why are you pressing charges or getting a restraining order against Mariah? It wasn't just Mariah who was fighting, it was Mariah and Toya that were fighting. But you're here being so upset at Mariah, what? Because she didn't help you all day?
Thank you. And it's the fact that they weren't even fighting them.
No, they weren't. So it's like, first of all, Carrie, you weren't even there for the fight. People had to come into your house and tell you that they were fighting. You didn't even
Exactly.
know. So
Make it make sense.
yeah, like I don't get that. That just really upset me was the way how Carrie and her husband Duncan were talking about Mariah and Aiden, especially their marriage. I did not like that at all. So, the fight happens. Carrie and her husband say these awful words about Mariah. And so then it's the next day now, and Toya is telling Eugene about what happened at the party or whatever. And this is like a scene back and forth between Toya and Eugene and Mariah and Aiden, where Toya is telling Eugene about the party and, saying how she's embarrassed and stuff like that. And Mariah is pretty much apologizing to Aiden for embarrassing him in front of his colleagues and stuff like that. But Aiden's although Aiden is upset, he knows that that's not Mariah's character. So he's not really, like, I guess he's not really too upset. So he was just trying to understand, like, why this is all happening. And then Mariah explains to him, and he was saying, like, for him, the only thing that was bugging him was how Lauren would feel emotionally finding out that Aiden is not her real dad.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. So, and then like I said, this is like a back and forth between Mariah and Aiden and Toya and Eugene. So now we have Toya putting the gift that Mariah got for her child into the fireplace.
Talk about it could be possessed.
I was like, what?
And Eugene is just as bad. Watch how fast that burns.
Honestly, I'm like, what the heck is going on? Like, I can understand, like, not you liking somebody or whatever, but to actually put their stuff in I mean, I don't know what I would do if I had a fireplace and somebody pissed me off and one of the gifts they got me was in my eyesight. But
Be like, Goodwill, Goodwill.
like, she just threw that into the fireplace, and I was just like, damn, girl, let it burn, I guess. Let it burn. Like,
You should let it burn.
yeah. And then so Mariah and Aiden are talking, and they get an invoice, or Carrie sent a PayPal invoice for the party, talking about she wants them to pay for damages. And Aiden's like, I'm not sending them no more money. I already paid for this party. Why am I sending y'all any more money? But then Carrie's saying that
You damaged my house. How you mean?
Toya did throw the first glass.
And she was ready with her checkbook in
Yes,
hand.
she was. I mean, like, as she should, because she did break that glass. Who knows how much that glass costs? They're rich. It could cost like a couple $100.
Right? She bumped into the
But
lamp and that drop and broke. So she was taking accountability for her.
yeah, yeah, because she did go and apologize to Dr. Carey. And Dr. Carey's like, you should be ashamed of yourself. Like, do you know people are saying they will never come to my house again?
Okay, that
Which,
was a
first
little
of all,
extra.
to me, like, right? Like, isn't that a little bit dramatic?
Like, girl, it's giving very much Coronation Street. Cut the
Yeah,
theatrics.
right. I'm like, I don't understand that. Like, where does that come from?
Exactly.
I was just like, whatever. Carrie's being hella dramatic, but I can understand where she's coming from. I guess in a sense, Mariah wasn't there to help her all day, I guess. But Mariah was getting ready her, like, you know what, whatever. Carrie's upset, and she's just taking all this anger out on Mariah. And that's all I'm gonna say.
But it's somewhat deserved, but hey.
You know. But let's talk about when Doctor Carrie was sitting down with her friend.
I really want Carrie to be a doctor.
It's just because everybody else on the show is. I mean, girl. Anyways, when Carrie is sitting there talking about she's gonna call Mariah Left Hook, I'm like, seriously, Carrie? It was Toya throwing all the punches, but
Selective.
it's not even selective because she wasn't there. She didn't see the fight. She was not a witness.
True that.
So, so how do you have all these words for Mariah and none for Toya?
Because Toya owned up to her shit. Okay. She
I mean, I guess.
apologized and everything. Mariah was there complaining about the extra couple $100 that they had to spend for things she broke in the woman's house. Where was the remorse?
There was no remorse because Carrie had her kicked out of the party. And Mariah's saying that she not paying for no party that she got kicked out of.
Okay, something tells me, and I was thinking about this when I was rewatching the episode, maybe, hypothetically, if Toya never went to the bathroom with Simone, I wonder if she
Mhm.
would have got escorted out too. But think about it, Toya
That's
wasn't in
true.
sight to get escorted out. By that time, she was already crying in the bathroom.
Yeah, no, that's true.
So I'm like,
Mm.
it was
You
just
know,
timing on her.
but my thing is that Carrie just kept saying Mariah, 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 when it wasn't just Mariah that
Yeah,
was fighting.
making her look like a problem child.
Yeah, like why are you doing that?
Okay, touche, touche.
Like, it wasn't just Mariah. Like they were both fighting. I don't understand. But anyways, Carrie and Toya are sitting down for lunch or whatever, and they make amends because they're very peaceful or whatever. So Toya apologizes. She brings her checkbook. Carrie's like, I'm not gonna make you pay for anything or whatever. And then what was funny to me in this scene is when Toya pulls out her little pink taser that Eugene bought for her after her fight with Mariah. You really expect Toya to tase Mariah?
You expect her not to?
No, I do not.
Oh,
For me, it's just Mariah should have just told her why she was upset with her. That is all it is. Like,
that's literally
that's all
all
it
it would have
is.
took
But
to
the thing is,
avoid half of
for
the
me
drama.
for me as a viewer, I understand totally why Mariah's upset. I just she just went about it all wrong.
And this is why, unfortunately, the blame will get put back onto Mariah and will deflect from Toya. Because
Yeah,
Toya was here saying, oh, we complimenting Aiden for marrying Mariah and taking in her child as her own, blah, 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 blah. We get that.
yeah,
But
yeah,
the way, remember, it's not always what you say, it's how you say it. And it's
yeah.
how Mimi and when Toya said it and how it was brought back to Mariah.
Mariah. Yeah, because I'm pretty sure if it didn't get back to Mariah in the way that it did, there would be no issues if Toya just kept her mouth shut. So, we are now at a scene in Dr. Jackie's house where she has a chef, but she's still gonna pretend like she cooked the food herself, even though everybody knows that Jackie don't cook.
You sound like you hating. First of all, if you
I
have
know how to cook.
a good sister-in-law who is willing to cook like a whole 9-course meal for your friends, cherish them.
Honestly, at that point though, just order in. I'm not putting nobody else under the stress of cooking for my friends.
But it's not the same like home cooked meal taste.
She
And I mean,
didn't
like, she
cook
didn't look
it.
like she mind.
Of course, Jackie didn't mind. Jackie still wanted to take credit for the food that she didn't cook. I'm not hating Dr. Jackie, I promise.
Her sister-in-law is the real MVP, okay? That wasn't just no chef. That was her sister-in-law. Put some respect on her title.
Yo, but whatever. Jackie's here pretending that she can cook, and then Simone comes over and she's there talking to Jackie, or Jackie's talking to her about the fight because Jackie has apparently heard about this fight around the office. And it really makes you like wonder because they do say on the show that the doctor circle is a small circle.
Mhm.
So it just makes you wonder how small that circle is if Jackie is hearing about that around her offices.
And Jackie was nowhere close to that fight. We barely saw Jackie in the last episode. Jackie
Because Jackie was
catching
at work. Jackie on
exactly.
call. Like Jackie's get her money.
Look,
So
go ahead, Dr. Jackie.
it's the fact that she wasn't even there, but she heard about this fight that just really gets me. Like because I'm like, what? How small is the office?
Jackie said, "We're not playing broken telephone tonight. You gonna tell me everything."
Right? Because after Simone comes in, we see Carrie and Toya come over. And we don't see Mariah because Dr. Jackie said that she didn't want to fight in her house. So she decided to leave Mariah out of it, which I can understand. You know, you don't want to put two people that just fought together, especially women, because men, I've seen men can fight and they'll get over it. Like, yeah, whatever, bro, we're good, dap up, move on.
Mm-hmm.
But when women fight, there's so much emotions because like we're so angry and all that stuff, and we tend to hold grudges more, especially if I'm fist fighting you and you're pulling on my hair and I'm pulling on your hair. All types of words are flying around like bitches and all these things. I'm not going to want to see you for a couple of days, like, you know. But I am going to say that this is the first instinct where we see them not including Mariah in something, which we will see more of as we continue. But this is the first instant we see them not including Mariah in anything. So, whatever, they're sitting down at the table and they're all having the discussion. And then Mariah asks about the situation, and she says that she thinks that Mariah is planting seeds about her to other people. And I'm just like, but Toya, once again, I'm going to say it.
Mm-hmm.
Should have just kept your mouth shut. What? Like there's
And
nothing
that's
else
the
to
part
say.
where I have to agree because there is no reason for you to have this woman's child and her husband in your mouth if no one is there talking about it in the first place.
Yeah, and then what kills me is that I feel like when Mariah did tell her this, she was hoping to build a closer relationship with Toya because we do see them act a little funny with each other in
Mm-hmm.
the beginning. And Mariah did say that the relationship is already a little finicky. So I feel like if this is something that's so personal to Mariah and Mariah told Toya in confidence, then I feel like then that's definitely something where Mariah was trying to build something with Toya and it failed for her.
Yeah.
So that hurts to think that you can trust somebody with something that's so close to you and then you realize that you can't do that. But for Toya to say that Mariah is planting seeds about her, the seeds are not lies.
And unfortunately, it's like she's living up to the seeds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's sad. But whatever. Jackie says that, Toya shouldn't have approached Mariah about her mother at the party because, like, time and place. But then Toya's like, how would I know? And I have to side with Toya because how would she know?
How will I know? Dun, dun. Sorry, I always break out in song.
How? It's okay, girl. Whitney's allowed anytime. But it's just like, how would she know? How's she gonna like how am I gonna know you're upset with me if you don't tell me that you're upset with me?
Exactly.
Like, our relationship's already finicky and you done pissed me off and I don't tell you how you gonna know if I'm and then I come around with you and my energy's on 10,000.
Like, come on now.
Like, so I don't know, but then
This is why
Simone,
I said in this fight, there's
yeah,
winners. There's just pure losing in this fight.
yeah, there's no, two wrongs don't make a right. So
It's literally just picking the lesser of two evils at this point.
pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much. But Simone asks Toya, like, what part in this fight do you own? Like, are you going to own up to anything that you did or whatever? And then Toya's like, I'm not going to sit here and tell you guys that if another woman puts their hand on me, that I'm going to walk away. She's like, I'm sorry. I'm not going to lie to you and say that I will. She's like, I will knock your hand off and let you know not to touch me again.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to side with her because if somebody puts their hands on me, it's on.
No, that's a fact. Like the minute you enter my personal space, that's a problem.
Yeah. Yeah,
Especially if I've been
especially in an
respectful.
aggressive manner.
Exactly.
So,
Don't come
but
to me unless I send for you.
period, like in the great words of Kenya. But yeah, but Dr. Simone fully believes that the fight could have been avoided if Toya had walked off, which it could have probably been avoided if Toya did decide to say, you know what, forget it, bye. Which I can get, but at the same time,
I
too,
don't
like
think so.
Toya said, if somebody puts their hand on me, it's on. Like I'm
I
not
don't
gonna.
think so. It's like watching back the episodes, and if you see how Mariah was approaching Toya, it was kind of like egging her on for a reaction.
Mariah and her mom.
You're following Toya around. You're making little smirk comments or whatnot. You're playing
Yeah.
with her hair, and everyone's gonna be like, "Well, Toya touched Mariah's hair." Toya did a quick little fix, slick down the like little flyaways. But
Did she?
Mariah, yeah, yeah.
So she shifted her wig just like Sheree
Okay,
shifted Kim's wig. Is that what we're doing?
okay.
Just wanted to fix it a little bit. Like, is
First of
that what we're
all,
doing out here?
Mariah did a little charade shifting, okay? Toya did the girlfriend flyaway pat down.
We don't know that allegedly.
But the point is that while Toya was trying to, respect her elders, keep her distance, stay away
Yeah.
with Simone, they kept trying to follow her and instigate and speak and whatnot. Like, let it go.
Yeah.
The only way that could have been avoided is if Mariah and her mother kept their distance and Toya
Mhm.
stayed over there with Simone.
Yeah. And Mariah approached her in a different manner and been like, hey, so I heard you were walking around town talking about my daughter.
Mm,
But, you know, I can understand Mariah's emotions getting the best of her.
yeah.
So that's all I'm gonna say. But Toya did own breaking the glass. So there's that.
At least she owns something.
Right? I mean, there's that. And then Jackie's like, if I sit down with Mariah or like if I can get a sit down with Mariah and everybody or whatever, would they be up for it? And Carrie's pretty much like, Mariah's gonna have to get down on her knees and apologize to me. And Dr.
Okay,
Jackie's like, not the knees. Like
see, now even if Dr. Jackie gives you a reaction like that, you know you're doing too damn
she's
much.
like on her knees. Like what?
Like, are you the
First of
England?
all,
What? The Queen of Atlanta? What's happening?
like who are you? About on your knees. Like,
Underneath.
girl, this is
How
not once upon a time.
bad? Like,
Like, no. But after this, we do see Dr. Jackie sitting down with Mariah, and Mariah's like, not the principal called me into her office to talk about everybody's behavior.
chat, y'all just want to keep coming for my Jackie about the principal.
Mariah said it, okay?
Like,
We just rolling with it.
first of all, here's my thing, and we already know where I stand with Jackie. I don't think Jackie should have been the one to talk to Mariah.
No, definitely not, especially since we know that they're not close like that.
And they don't see eye to eye, and I don't think they
Yeah.
understand each other's language, if that makes sense.
No, they do not at all. So, if anything, Simone was closer to Mariah. Simone should have approached Mariah. That's how I feel
Simone
because,
understands how Mariah acts and talks,
yeah,
and Mariah understands how Simone acts and talks. She
yeah,
doesn't know Jackie like that. So even if Jackie's being sincere, she's gonna take it as Jackie being shady and not understanding.
yeah, no, it's true because they don't click like that, which is
Mm.
understandable. So,
Oil and water.
yeah, it should not have been Dr. Jackie to sit down with Mariah. And what I didn't like was even though Mariah was explaining her situation to Dr. Jackie says she's not buying it. And in my head, it's like, what exactly are you not buying? It's like she didn't see that Mariah's actually hurt by the things that she's heard Toya was saying about her child.
Okay, refresh my memory because to what line exactly was Jackie saying I don't buy it?
She was pretty much, I don't remember the exact line, but she was pretty much, Mariah was explaining to her, like, Toya talked about my child, Toya talked about my mom, or whatever. And Dr. Jackie was just like, I'm not buying it.
But did she tell Jackie exactly what the topic of conversation was? Because if you just said, okay, she talked about my child and my mom, okay, cool, but still, why are we hitting people in a public setting like this as a doctor's wife? Versus, oh, she's spreading the propaganda of my daughter being adopted. Well, not propaganda, but she's spreading my daughter's business of being adopted. That's where I'm just like, did she get? I don't remember her giving Jackie the full detail. So it makes Jackie question, it can't be just that. That's going to make you want to pow somebody.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like, if I'm ready to pow somebody, then there's a reason, because people don't pow for no reason. Like, I'm not crazy. Like, I'm not on drugs or anything. I'm not just gonna walk up to you and start punching you in your face. Like, it doesn't work like that. Like, these are all, I want to say, level-headed women. And for Mariah to actually get to that point, there's a reason. Like, Mariah saying that she's been a good friend to Toya. She's very hurt. And this is the stuff that she's saying to Dr. Jackie.
Yeah.
And Mariah's saying, like, it's not right. She backed me into a corner. She didn't know what she's, like, gonna do. She didn't want to make it physical. It just happened like that. And she's explaining that Toya disrespected her for to the umpteenth level. Okay. I don't know. But for me, it's the fact that Dr. Jackie wasn't trying to even understand Mariah in this moment. Because for me, for Dr. Jackie to say she's not buying it, I don't.
There's nothing there to not buy.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what do you mean you're not buying it?
Yeah.
It just doesn't make sense to me because, like, I don't get it. I don't know. But Dr. Jackie did make a good point where she says, if you don't want your business told, don't tell it.
Thank you. That has been my philosophy from day one, whether it is reality or reality TV. If you don't want your business, and this was my issue, and I'm jumping very far into the future with Contessa. This was my issue with Contessa and her drama with Heavenly. Yes.
I'm gonna be silent, y'all.
If you guys can see Shimeika's face, this is my point. If you do not want these things to come back to you, if you don't want your business in the streets, if you do not want the people talking about your business online, keep it to yourself. Pick and choose
but
who
then
you're
it's
telling
like,
your business to.
yeah, but then
Especially
it's
if
like,
you know they have a big
are they
mouth.
not supposed to have friends? And if you're my friend, I'm supposed to be able to trust you with certain things.
But okay, but you just said it, keyword, certain things. Know who you're trusting. What you would tell Simone, you probably wouldn't necessarily tell Toya. What you would tell Jackie,
It depends
won't
on the
always tell
level of
Heavenly.
friendship.
Know your friends.
That's sad.
But it's reality. It's reality.
I don't want talking to nobody that I cannot trust. Okay, like, what do you mean? I have to watch what I say around you. Why? I don't want to have to do that. Watch what I'm saying around people. Be like, oh my gosh, like, like, no. If that's the case, when it comes time for my funeral and it's time for my eulogy,
not time for your funeral. What the hell?
You will all be up there with different books connecting dots to stories because I had to tell certain people certain things. No.
You better write a memoir, child.
Like, what? Be like, yeah, Shimeika told me blah blah blah. Ooh, for real? Because she told me that, and I'm like, yeah, wow. So that actually, like, no. If I can't tell you 100, like, what is the reason for the friendship?
What was that reason? in my Cardi B voice.
Like what? I should be able to trust any of my friends completely, like no matter what. But it sucks when you find out that you can't.
Exactly. And my thing is, we have to kind of remember too, this is a group of women, no matter what show it is. At the end of the day, they are pieced together like a puzzle. Aside from Jackie and Simone, none of them have that long standing friendship going decades.
No, they don't.
Right? And this is why I keep saying these
Well,
reality
I think
shows.
I don't know, but I don't remember how old Mariah's daughter is
Right.
in season
Mariah and Simone
one.
go back. That's true.
Mariah and Simone go far back as well. So, because Simone delivered Lauren.
Hmm. But in terms of Toya, you already know your relationship is finicky. You talking about the streets saying Toya is this and Toya is that. If you know
Yeah,
this about Toya, I get building your relationship, and this is where I side with Lake. You could have talked about anything else. Your daughter
yeah.
did not need to be the topic of conversation to build a relationship with Toya,
No,
especially
it's so true.
especially if you know you can't trust her like that. And that's no shade
Yeah.
to Toya and them in general, but that's just it.
Yeah. I
Know
just
who you
feel
would be
like
friends with.
Mariah was hoping that she would be able to trust her, which, you live
Yeah.
and you learn.
Yep.
And that's all it is. You live and you learn because this is where we're at now.
Mm, mm, mm.
Girl, I don't know, but that is the rundown for these two episodes that we watched, which were episodes 4 and 5.
From
Y'all
season
should
one.
go watch. Yes, if you haven't watched it, please go watch.
And let us know your thoughts on social media. Tweet us, leave us a comment. We're back now, y'all. We had exams, we had galas. Black History Month was a busy month,
Girl,
y'all. Proud
it
to
was
the people.
busy and we were living,
We were,
surviving is
mhm.
what we were doing. We were
So
survivors like Destiny's Child, y'all.
I think we passed that stage at this point.
Yo, I don't know. But do you want to close this out, my girl?
Yes. So make sure you guys interact with us online. Tweet us, leave us a comment, follow us, tell the doctors to hit us up. We would love to hear their opinion.
Right?
Make sure you guys check out the podcast on all streaming platforms. Thank you all so much for listening. You can catch the podcast every other Monday, we promise, ish, on Spotify, Google Podcasts, YouTube, Amazon, iHeart. We're working on Apple Podcasts, so it is coming. Give us some time, but it's coming. And again, to keep up to date with us on all social media platforms, follow the number 2, Rundown on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube. All right, y'all. What are we saying? We cold bluing out? Is that even
Nah, girl. Today we are scrubbing in to get ready to be nurses to Dr. Jackie and Dr. Simone.
now paging Dr. Jackie, Dr. Simone? Hey, hey.